Hello, and this is David Murphy, and welcome to another Mind Sports Academy draft here during downtime. Today we get our first taste of Out of the Gate Watch. It's limited, and we're starting with a draft. And an interesting pack. Interesting because none of the cards are that strong. So Sweep Away is a solid spell. I'm a big fan of the Forerunner. I think surging him is not that hard in the format. Mean and Dean is, a really good card, but committing to two colors, not a color combination I'm too fond of. Press into Service has been a card I'm more and more impressed with in common, and there's a lot of good red aggressive options in the format. So I think I'm going to try this card out first. I think it's better than committing to double colors with Me and Dean, and she's not even a card you're that happy about splashing. So I'll go with that, hoping that the Forerunners or maybe the Brute Strength wheels, possibly the enchantment is the equipment isn't bad either. Person after this, depending on their first pick, I expect to pick the Mia or the Forerunner or the Saddleback isn't bad either. Pressing the Service is good. So we have Isolation Zone. Blinding Drone, who I'm a big fan of, blocks well and clears the way for attackers. We have Captain's Claws, which is good in a pretty specific deck. The problem is it doesn't give any toughness boost, so it doesn't stop from trading, and the 1/1 token can just be chumped a lot, so you're mitigating its effect. But it's pretty good in a deck with flyers, because the +1/+0 is always going to be useful. Scion Summoner is very solid. Step Glider is very solid. Isolation Zone is a really good removal spell. So I'm not sure. Mainly, I haven't played with Captain's Claws that much. So I kind of want to pick it here. It's only one to move the equipment. I kind of want to pick it to get a feel for the card and play with it more. It also keeps us out of color commitment, though white seems pretty open. Okay. So we have Roiling Waters. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. It doesn't really go up the other two picks. It's more of a tempo or late game card, but I think it's a lot better than anything in the pack. I think Pathfinder is fine. I think the Sidemaster is good, and he's going to be really good with Captain's Claws if we go down that route. I think the Auxiliary is a bit worse than he looks, so 2 trees everywhere in this format. He does block well, where Rolling Waters has performed for me, so we're going to go ahead and pick that. And blue card into blue card, I think here. I feel that Avenger is the best card in the pack. Besides that, Aggressor is fine. I like to translate later. A good amount. Drone, Warden of Geometries. This card's worth a couple ticks, and I think it's going to be worth a couple more as time goes by. I think it's actually quite good for standard, but I'm not going to pick it. Raptor is also a good card in its archetype. I think we're going to go Avenger after picking that good blue card. And things are kind of pointing to blue-white. Flyers deck, I haven't really seen that much more good reds to go with our first pick. The Claws is good in blue-white. As I said, I like it in the Flyers deck. So we complete the Cleric. He was a good ground guy, early beater, helps you gain life later. Or we can pick the Raptor. He's a good flyer. The Walker Waste is a card I like a decent amount as well. We're going to go with the Raptor, another flyer to add to our team. I think there's other 2-drops that you want over the Cleric. The Cleric goes in a different deck. So it's fine in that deck as well. Here we get a Devouring Flame really late. It's also a Vampire Envoy pretty late in the pack. And a Mauve Kozilek really late. A lot of options here. I think I have to take the Devouring Flames. It's just a really good removal spell. Devour Flames into Bushwhacker. So some kind of still aggressive red deck is what we're on track for. Not sure what color to pair with it. Might be blue. Might end up being white. I don't know yet. There's still a Searing Light here. There's still an Aggressor and a Sky Scourer. There's also a Path Warden who's really strong. So there's a lot of strong cards left in that pack. And this guy, okay, we're definitely in red. This guy is... He basically says opponents can't block. A lot of creatures in this format have a lot more toughness than they do power, and this guy just stops them from blocking. There's still good blue cards in the pack. That's a good sign. But this guy is just generic, good aggro card. We can pick up a Wastes for our Immobilize Eldrazi, but I think I'd prefer Brute Force over the another equipment. We already have an equipment. Now here we have Chain Mage, so we might be able to go red allies. There's actually a decent amount of red allies. We have Crab, doesn't go in either of our decks. I don't think Expedite's good enough, and I think Chain Mage is better than the Endurance for what we wanted to do. And this guy's fine. He moves around equipments for free. Moving around this for free instead of for one is a slight upgrade. It only moves it to him though. That is still fine. I don't want a second brute force this early. Not sure of our second color here. Bit of mixed signals. We thought blue was open, but then red seemed wide open. Going for an aggressive red deck. Tinted towards allies if I can't go with this. But we have Press into Service, as we said early. Good aggressive card. We got a Devour and Flames Relay. And then we got, I think this might be the best red uncommon. Like, it just stops so many things. It's either this or Devour are probably the best red uncommons, and probably close. I think this might get better. I'm just back from a draft at my local game store at the moment, and I was joking with a friend that this says creatures can't block. This card just says creatures can't block, but I'm only kind of half joking. This guy just makes creatures not be able to block. An aggressor comes back, so maybe we're looking at an Eldrazi either in blue, or just take the card in the color. We're either looking at blue or maybe black Eldrazi. This guy I took him for the ally deck, but he kind of comes around late. It's not a single that's open. Okay, so that probably shouldn't still be there. We could still just go generic aggro, but I would love to get into the Eldrazi deck here. I think we're going to try and aim for it. Already 11 playables. Oh, we could have had 2. So what we could do here is kind of ignore signals to an extent and just take this guy. Black wasn't that open in the first pack. We could cut it pretty hard here and try and go into black red Eldrazi with a lot of good spells so far. The option besides that is the Boulder Salvo, which I'm definitely going to end up playing. This came so late though in the last pack. I kind of want to stick to blue and try and get rewarded for being in blue in the last pack. This card is just so strong. So we have no black cards to go with it. We do have 8 playables, so quitting the blue wouldn't be that bad though. I don't want to play all of these. I think I'm going to go with the safer Salvo pick. And here, the only real pick is the Embodiment of Fury, but he's a very good card. Makes 3/3 Tramplers out of your lands, and there's a 4-mana 4/3 Trampler himself. Now, there's not much going on for us here. This is a great sideboard card, but I don't like picking it this early. Blue has Cultivator Drone. It's probably the best card here, though we are not that Eldrazi-ish at the moment. It's not making mana for much. Could also just pick a Holdout Settlement, but I think I'd prefer Cultivator Drone. Okay, getting a bit rewarded for being in blue now. He is an excellent blue card. You also see a Blinding Drone, Visions of Brutality. I think a lot of cards. I wouldn't mind a Flame Speaker, I wouldn't mind a Blinding Drone, I wouldn't mind a Cultivator Drone here. I think that's pretty big, decent signal to be in blue. Though we're lacking a kind of archetype, we have some Eldrazi that we can just cut this guy and just have this again be our good Eldrazi card. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Menace guy. Besides that, Void Shatter's decent, Aggressor was okay. Don't have a lot of things for Aggressor, I think. Ally is going to be a bit better. We want to get as many 2-drops as we can the next couple packs, because I think that's how we're going to get all these Surge cards. I don't think you need gimmicky like 1 or 0 drops to make Surge cards good. I think you need a lot of the time, like they cost 2 to Surge. I think on turn 4 you're looking to play a 2-drop plus a Surge card a lot. I think is what you have to be aiming at, but the deck looks decent so far. We have another creature in case we want to play him, though he's a creature we'd rather not play. These other creatures, he doesn't count himself. Reality Hemorrhage over Maw of Kozilek and another Entangler. There's also this, that's decent. Not as much in aggressive decks. I think I want the Reality Hemorrhage, just another 2-drop like we said. The Maw of Kozilek is really good. It blocks well, it attacks well, you can't ask much more of a card. Now a pretty dry pack, unfortunately not in the black deck like we thought we could go into. Crumbling Vestige is fine. Hopefully get some Sky Spawners and such in the last pack. Only 9 creatures, we do have to up that count. Like, we mightn't want to play this Brute Strength. Also, this guy's just not the best in this deck. Want more of this. Oh, Zado's Commander is very good. Commander probably shouldn't be going this late. Fortunately, we don't see any new cards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the last new card we see. Can I go in green? It's putting 5 cards down to 12, up to 13. Green is not strong in the last pack though. I think we'll just stick to the big guy, but this is pretty silly. Someone picked the first one, didn't pick the second one. Green's just not very rewarding in the last pack either. If there was another pack of votes, I think I'd jump on that there and maybe try and cut it. Green is very open. This guy is actually pretty good. I'm not going to play it. I don't think I need Surge that bad in the deck, but I'll give it a sideboard thought. At the moment, I'm definitely playing the 1 Crumbling Vestige. I'd rather negate over 2nd Brute Strength for sideboard purposes. I don't even really want to play the first Brute Strength, so this card isn't that good, but this card is really good in its archetype. I get if people aren't in the archetype, but even outside the archetype, I think it's fine. Like, I'm going to play it as a 2-3 here. Entangler again, jeez. Someone else is definitely in blue, because the cards aren't that strong that I'm getting past. But double Entangler seems pretty good to me. Are they allies? Yeah, they're even allies. With just random interactions. But anyway, but this guy is the same. Like, I might even end up playing him in this deck because he activates, like, the Immobilizer. He activates this guy and plays this guy. They're probably the first cards getting cut. Straight away, Sky Spawner, nothing better in the pack. Not even particularly close. Evolving Wilds is decent, but I don't really have anything I want to splash. It's just going to be Sky Spawner. I really like red blue in this. I think it's just full of very good cards. The color combination, they kind of work well together as well. Okay, so now this pack is kind of barren for us. We have just undo Champion to try and activate Trample. That's not the best. I think we just take Royal Spout and maybe end up splashing it. So it's nothing great. There's definitely a deck that wants lots of this card, but I don't think that's this deck. I'm going to take the Royal Spout. Like, I have Crumbling Vestige. Maybe if I get another land, I'll play them. Or a Sky Spawner. No real red cards, but we'll take Sky Spawners as long as they're going. We're definitely cutting cards, by the way. We're already up to 22 in this pack. I can't imagine we're not going to get some more cards. Good kind of aggressive tempo deck with a bit of removal. Some flyers, some evasion. A bit of a blow-up bomb. I had 2 of these in my local game store, and every time I cast it, I pretty much won the game. Third Sky Spawner, I think it's better than this, though I'm not going to get to activate that often, or at the moment at all. And I'm not the biggest fan of turn against. Triple Sky Spawner, I am a fan of. This card's still insane. I don't think I'm playing either of these Cultivator drones at the moment. Press into service. So I've seen people misclick this already. Palcheon misclicked it pretty terribly. I don't think I need black for anything. This isn't an ally. I think I want this outnumber. More removal. I have triple Sky Spawner that makes 2 tokens now. This guy's a bit expensive. I'm probably only going to be playing 17 lands and probably cut the Pathfinder. Just have this as like my top end. Spell Shrivel or Strider. I could also have a Sure Strike, though I think Brute Strength is just better in these type of decks. Nothing to remove stuff from the game. So Merc Strider is not great. I think I'll take the Shrivel. I think I'll end up with just better cards than the Strider. I could also take the Loaming Spires just to have that. I think the Spell Shrivel, especially, like, even if I don't start it, there's certain bombs that I might want to take. So we have this or this. Neither of them are that appealing in this archetype. I think I'd prefer this because it's just... Boards can still get stalled in aggro games, and having a card that can attack through. I don't know if I'll start it in the deck, though. If I'm not starting it, do I just take the Stone Fury? Yeah, I think if I'm not starting the Infiltrator, I think I just take the Stone Fury. It's a good sideboard card. None of these are played. But this pack was pretty weak, but it's not weak like I think I should have been in different colors. It was just a weak pack. This is probably the deck I'm starting. 17 lands, also because I have triple Sky Spawner. Though I have some mana sinks. I think 17 is probably enough. We'll see if anything tables, though. There was barely picks in some of those packs the first time around. They were just very barren. Triple Sky Spawner. Every pack that has Sky Spawner that I was looking through the pack, really disappointed until I got it. These cards now kind of table sometimes because you just don't have ways to remove cards from the game. You just don't prioritize them that highly because there's not 3 packs. Though this card's insane with Oblivion Strike from the first pack. It means no one's in like blue black. Blue black with some Oblivion Strikes. I think this is just the deck I want. Maybe I play an aggregate instead of the 3-2. I have an aggregate. I don't think I want to play the Royal Spout. I think I only ended up with one piece of fixing, and it's an awkward piece of fixing. So I think this is just my deck. A bit heavy on the 5s, though 2 of them are not really 5s, as I say. I want to play a 2 and play it. Outnumber, I think, also maybe went up in my estimation because of Surge. Like, on turn 3, being able to maybe, outnumber, kill his 2-1 or something and play this seems insane, or play this seems kind of insane. Same with Salvo, like on turn 3 or 4, kill one of your guys, kill your other guy. Two cards. Still be able to attack or even maybe play a creature that turn. I'm just wondering, do I want this guy? That's mostly just a 3-2 for 3. Or do I want the guy that possibly has haste and blocks a bit better? I think that's just a matchup thing. I definitely want... Can I cut something for an extra creature? Brute Strength I want to keep. Claws I want to try out, though I'm not too hopeful. These are removal spells. This is a removal spell. Don't worry, cut it. Removal spell. Maybe I can play Aggressor instead of Stone Fury, and it's something I can bring in. Just to bring up my creature count a little. 15 is what I kind of want in this more aggressive deck. Lands. And one of these mountains will become a Crumbling Vestige because I have a Mobilizer, Eldrazi, and I had something else I thought as well. Mobilizing Eldrazi, was that it? Oh no, obviously Pathfinder. It was, not as relevant to activate it with, but still relevant. And that's the deck. Nothing too swish about it, just pretty straight up red-blue kind of tempo aggro deck I've been kind of liking in the format. Again, I'm a big fan of the Surge mechanic. And just the combination of cheap, efficient guys, removal, bounce, and evasion. These decks end up being really good, and I think that's exactly what you want in this format. Or we'll see it's exactly what you want after I play a couple games. Okay, see you for round 1. And here we are on round 1 on the play. Start off with a risky one. 7 drop in hand. Though one more land of any type lets me play Toll Collector. Blue land lets me play this into this, hopefully. So I think it's a keep. The 7 drop being a tad awkward in the hand. On 17 lands, these hands are not as snap keeps, I think. But it's definitely close. Not blame someone for shipping that. And perfect blue land, right on time. This guy an ally? Of course he's not. Random creatures. No Harbury or I, please. Nope. So a lot of power in play in turn 3. Like power in play. He's only got a lantern for us. Want to do this? No, we don't want to do that. I was going to play the 4-3 and just play a land. But I think instead what I want to do is play this guy. If I get a land next turn, I get to play this guy with the land. This way I have 5 points of evasion no matter what. It's not easy for this color combination to do or deal with either, besides their own flyers. I guess they got a lot more reach creatures. They have the spider, and they have the really good uncommon. And the land gains haste, so just something I didn't know the first couple times I played the embodiments. Don't want to attack with this, free block for my opponent. And he's already on 7, though he has his Blinding Tapper online now, and if he played something like Seed Guardian, he could shut us down till we reach 7 lands. But he's already on 7. If we draw a second ally, which we have a couple of, Zada also takes over. Is he going to sack a land? Kind of has to. It's risky against blue, though. Sack one of his tapped lands. 4-5. I kind of like that guy, but haven't got to play him much. 6 lands. So just one more land to win, realistically. Let's see what happens when we go to attacks. Taps down this realistically. I can attack with all 3 of these. He can block here. He's likely to block here to go to 2. I can play another guy. And again, I like putting him to 2. I like putting him to 2 here because if I ever draw an ally, he's on a 2-turn clock. And if I ever draw a land, I just win. Beastie guy is pretty good. Also going to do a lot of damage here. Opponent taps down the flyer. And we're going to take the attack here. Needs to have 2 tricks not to die. And again, even if he does, this land is probably just going to win me the game at any point. A land, there's a land anyway. And there's a Todd Hemorrhage also would have done it for me. That was pretty good. Didn't see a lot of my opponent's deck. Stone Fury is kind of tempting when he is a green deck. So I think I'd want to see a bit more of his deck before I committed to a Stone Fury. I'll leave as is for now. To the next round. This format has all of a sudden turned into a really aggressive kind of aggro format. It reminds me of Origins a bit, where it is aggressive and kind of curve based, but there's definitely grindy decks you can have. This is a slower hand. Not being helped out by my drops that much. Realistically, hopefully looking to do this at some stage. I could draw a creature next turn, maybe it would be nice. Opponent, the trifecta. No fixing needed. Oh, that's a nice one. Now if my opponent plays next one, we can kill it. And we can also Sphinx, though that seems tad unlikely. Next one? Is there an X1 for 4? No. I could Devour in Flames this guy. Doesn't seem great. I kind of just want to get the Cyclone going. Do I see a counter spell for my opponent? Maybe I should go to attack there and make him tap it down so he's less likely to be able to do something. Chooses to tap down the Cyclone Sire. Doesn't tap down the Cyclone Sire, I mean. It's kind of weird, unless he's just a straight up removal spell. This is okay against me. It's not broken by any stretch. So can I do everything here? 3, 5, 6, yep. It's going to be a very good turn if everything resolves. And this is what I mean by some Surge cards just being really good. And not having to play janky cards like Bonesaw to make them good. Just played a bunch of good cards that turn and Surge was good. Though my card's a bit less impressive with his dampening pulse and play, of course. 3-4, that's basically a million. Aw. Can attack for 2 in the air. Maybe kill this if I wanted. I really need that bounce spell. So I kind of revealed something. I kind of want to play the Devour in Flames. I think I will on the tapper. Probably shouldn't have played my land then. And I should be playing this. I should play this Crumbling Vestige. Oh my god, it's allies. Like a 1/1 flyer, you say? I'm not going to miss this card in sealed, I'll tell you that much for free. He already knows about the land, so might as well play it. I also have a source if I really need it of colorless. I'm not playing much here. It makes me a tad skeptical. Queen. Makes me think he might have a Rod of God in hand. It seems unlikely he's not able to play anything off of 4 cards. Sweep away to top my deck. Okay, that's not the worst. Playing him for 5 next turn isn't bad. Or maybe he's sitting on counter spells. Could have played a land player and spell shuffle, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh. You stop drawing lands. In for 7 a turn, possibly. Another sweep away. Okay, his hand is starting to make sense. He's blanking. He's basically time walking me here a bunch of times. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 1 off, so yeah. I would have double blocked pretty fast. he has a trick, he has a trick, but soon this thing's unkillable and is going to be doing a very real amount of damage to me each turn. I predicted combat trick. I don't think he'd be doing this without one. Oh, Moto Bug almost lost me my free attempt at killing his guy. Let's switch it around, kill this Ada if you want. And he has a pump spell. I'll give it trample +3/+3. Oh, okay. -2, sure. Does that draw you a card? Yeah. And there's the 8th land, unfortunately. Not sure why opponent isn't getting in with this, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The most I can do to this. The bounce 2 card is the only thing I can think to get me out of this. Might as well make him do it each turn. If he just wants to let the chumps happen, that's okay as well. I can bounce 2 of his guys and get an attack. There's a chance I'm slightly ahead. So I'm making this guy not be able to block each turn. I'm going to counter spell. Sure. I don't think that card's playable, by the way. Don't think it's great. He gets me here. Thought this wouldn't be able to block either, but I guess it's not. It's a timestamp thing. Or where's he gone? Here. Can't block this turn. Is that right then? Is that a bug? Each creature with toughness greater than its power can't block this turn. I don't know. I would have had to call a judge for that in the tournament. I didn't think it worked like that, but obviously opponent wrecking me here it does. So he can deal me 7, 10, 12 that turn if he wanted. Could put me to 5. It's going to be a close one. No, I'm joking. He's wrecking me. Gained a bunch of life. Okay. So he just... This is kind of the killer. This game. He had some well-statted creatures as well, but that's game. Stone Fury. Get a Spell Shovel in there. The enchantment was quite annoying to play against. But I think, like, if we had drawn one of our big game-breaking cards, we might have been able to do it and go for it earlier. Like, maybe my sacrificing my 3/4 was wrong. Well, this is the previous game we won. Sorry, those games just ran very fast into each other. So I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Okay. Our deck seems good. Let's take it home this time. Let's hope Dampening Pulse doesn't ruin our day. Again, we're risking. We need to draw a blue source in the first few turns. This seems quite good against his deck as a card if we get to activate it. Oh, what do you know? Better looking than good. Turn 3 Sky Spawner again. That seems kind of better, right? Aiming for 3 this turn and a 1-1. Or do we Sky Spawner and equip it to a Sky Spawner next turn? I think we might Sky Spawner and equip it to that next turn. That's close though. And 1 extra damage that turn, get a free 1-1. We're not actually going to equip it here. What we are going to do is attack with just a Sky Spawner because I think he has the Flash guy. Don't want to give him a free block. And cast this with Surge. And now we have 5 power in the air. Card's not very playable. But we get wrecked by it right there. Literally, you just lose the game to it there. That's going to happen sometimes. We have to choose between playing around that and the Flash guy, and I think the Flash guy is a bit worse for us. Could be wrong. Still in a pretty good position with this card where he can trade with this if he wants, but I'm just up creature then. And if we don't draw land, we get to devour his creature. If we do draw land, we have both of these up. Okay, maybe I was a bit hyperbolic. We're not just losing the game, but that's mostly because our opponent also hasn't played anything here. He needs to kind of keep this for colors, I suppose. Captain's Claw is doing work. Okay. Can also kill 2 creatures now. Or just kill him. Press into service. I underestimated this card the first time I saw it. Hasn't been played against me yet. But hasn't been played against me yet, but I've seen it played in games and just thought, wow, how was anyone ever beating that? Okay, what do we have? It's not great. I can just press that into service and win. Oh, almost made the misclick. Everyone does. Will we see another counter spell that gets an Eldrazi? Supported these 2 took control of this. If he counter spells it, we're still just getting in with this. We're probably still getting in with the team. Blocks here, blocks a 1-1, takes 4. Captain's Claws seem kind of impressive here. What counter spell is it? It's a sweep away, so he can't do that, but we still get the support because they're targeted, and we still win. Captain's Claws. Yeah, opponent probably thought it only if it didn't have a target, but support actually targets, so you can't fizzle that spell that way. Nothing much else opponent could do. A bit hyperbolic there where we got blown out. Just a bit frustrating to be blown out to that card. Maybe I'm underestimating it. 4 spike for 3 mana, even if it gets you a 1-1, doesn't seem that good to me. This deck seems pretty good. Turn 3 was actually interesting. Whether we got the Claws going and get that extra creature in for free, or we get the Sky Spawner. I think Sky Spawner is the correct play though. An interesting thought, and what to play around is important. And how fast, like if I go Sky Spawner and put the equipment on the Sky Spawner, the problem is if he just plays like a 2-3, well, if he plays the 2-3 reach, at least Sky Spawner trades, at least the guy trades with it. But unless I'm making tokens early, eventually he just chumps the tokens and the equipment's basically a bone saw at that stage, which is just bad. If you can get that card to be more than bone saw, though, it seems broken. And that's why it's weird. People think it's really good, and I don't think it's really good. Like I picked it this highly to test it. I think it's only good in specific decks. But when that card is bad, it's bone saw. When it's good, it's Brimaz, I guess. But we'll see you from next round. Here we are, round 2 on the play, and a pretty easy mulligan. Much better hand. Let's hope we see some action on the top. And we do. Bushwhacker not looking amazing in the hand currently. We don't really need any fixing. I think there's 1 double red card in our deck. Oh, sorry, I have my headphones on actually. I do not need them. So used to putting them on for streaming. Oh, I thought that didn't play for a second before I F6 because of the lag of Moto. That would have been horrendous. So let's see if we get 2-drop out of our opponent. If not, we get to go Sky Spawner into Embodiment of Fire, which is decent. Ooh, this guy's good. Opponent has auto fixing. I wonder if he's more than 2 colors. Swamp. Not so far. Moto being a little bit laggy. Sorry guys, I'll try and restart after this game. Probably just bashes with the larva. So again, we can make the play where we get Embodiment this turn. That's frustrating. We can Embodiment and just smash for 3 with our land. Or we could go this guy plus Bushwhacker plus attack with the team. Also seems good, and then we can Embodiment land next turn. Yeah, I like that. You'll block here then, but I don't even have to block with that. I don't even have to attack with that. I can just attack with these two. And he won't really want to block since Larva just... I thought this guy said... Oh, he has haste himself. I thought this guy said each order. So if I attack with this, he takes 5, 6, 7. It goes to 13, but then this stonewalls my team. Where if I attack with these, he's kind of incentivized to block here. Take 4, go to 6, but we have the Eldrazi. I think I like that. No, just takes it. Because he knows the Larva Stonewalls. It's probably correct play from my opponent. We're just incentivizing him to make wrong ones, I guess. Ooh. Let's see if he attacks. He doesn't feel like getting spicy. This card no longer that good. I think we still play it. We can attack in the air for 2. Or the alternative, play this, make it 3-3, attack with the team. He probably blocks here, and then he can block and trade with the land, or he blocks the land and just blocks anything. I think that's still our best attack though. You can trade with the land if he wants. Yeah, he can have 2 profitable blocks here. I guess this can like block one of the 2 ones, this can block here, and this can trade with the land. And he takes 5. We're trying to set up for some of our bigger cards though. I think this is the best way to do it. Our support card and stuff like that. Yeah, and he chooses exactly those blocks, goes to 9. He might want to keep his 3-1. Or he just wants to affect the board more. That's okay with me. As I said, I want to draw the take control that also supports. This card might also do a number on him. We'll just trade with this, or trade with just this, I guess, because he just double blocks. So now, say goodbye to this guy. An opponent might be in a little bit of trouble now. He mightn't have an answer for this. He needs to trade here, realistically. He can't not. Yeah. And we have a 3-turn clock all of a sudden. No, we had a couple of removal spells. As I said, we also have big spells like Press into Service, I think is the name. The super active treason. And we had a couple of bounce spells, we had a couple of removal spells, any of them are very good. The deal 5 damage one would have been excellent that turn because it would have bounced the land and let us play it again for the 3-3. I think that would have been probably our actual best draw. As it stands, this is pretty good. 4 cards in his hand though. Lone Larva is pretty good when he gets a counter on him with blocking pretty much anything in this format. If he kills the 2-1, we're in trouble. Realistically. Did he actually target both of them? It's weird. He must have a removal spell. Bone Splinters, okay. No need to show him I have a land. His opponent actually have nothing? That would be pretty tasty. Okay, opponent breaks one more draw phase, we win. Opposite of a break. It's a 7 drop. No. 6 drop. Angel's not nice. One more land. That one more land doesn't even win us the game. We probably just still play it because it draws us cards. Uh-oh. It's an auto attack. Not sure what he has here. Maybe he's just fine with going to 1. I doubt it though. Speeder. It's fine. I don't know if I make that attack if I don't have Pathfinder in hand. I probably am still made to. He has to use his cards. Like, if he's making that attack, he has a card that gets me. I'm not just going to not attack and let him keep that card. It's hard to tell what it could be. Could just be a tar pitch as well. Kill my guy. Huh. So another one of them doesn't do it. Maybe he's just hoping I've gotten scared of attacking. If he untaps it, I can just have it not block. Without Finder. Again, green decks, I'm tempted to bring in this, but he hasn't shown me that many cards that require this over like a salvo. All the cards can get salvoed. All the cards can get bounced. He doesn't have that much reach, so I don't want to change much. The Thought Hemorrhage, the Reality Hemorrhage might be worse than a Stone Fury or Sure Strike. Possibly a War Paint too. Oh. The Reality Hemorrhage just hasn't seemed great. Let's bring in the Stone Fury. It looks like the game might go a bit longer here with his kind of grindy deck. This is a mulligan. If one of these, if like this was a land, and this is excellent. On turn 5, hopefully, land is what we want. Maybe I'm overestimating the Entanglers, but I got one of them literally second last pick with only a land being in the pack, and one of them third last pick in the packs, and I thought they were a bit better than that. Like, they're not excellent, they're just solid 2 drops in my mind. Well, I guess like guys like this maybe just embarrass it. My experience has been kind of tempo orientated decks are quite good in the format, so 5 mana, I definitely want to do this into Boulder Salvo. Mimic. Okay. Does it only copy the power or the toughness? Power and toughness, sure. So we have the ability to do both of these next turn if we feel it's right. But I'd rather, with the way my hand... Okay, now I am going to do both of them next turn. This card is absurd. I'll double block the attacks. Though not as absurd as he could be. I just don't like taking risks. This might be the best card in the set. My Eldrazi spawns aren't doing much in the ground, so I can just salvo. Though that was bad. I should have salvoed first and attacked with this. That's a bad play. This should have got in this turn and maybe traded with his Mimic. Because it's not going to get many better opportunities in this game. Now if he plays a reach creature, this kind of gets me. That's fine. It's not really affecting what I'm doing. That is pretty coherent with the game plan, though. And I don't want to sack the Eldrazi spawn. This guy can enable some Surge if I want. So I'm fine with doing this for full price, since he's not going to accomplish much on the ground anyway with this 2/4. Triple spawner in the last pack is gas. Sure. Tradesies. Does he have a reach guy? Errata God effect. Territorial bailout. Okay, that can do some damage. But we do just have him on a 2-turn clock here. That's pretty insane. I'll probably just chump. Or at the very least do this. I'm on 20. Like, I don't need to throw away creatures. If he has a reach creature here, I'm going to regret it. Let's see if he has a removal spell. Probably on top this and blocks. Sure. So shortens my clock by a turn. Only. And if I draw a blue source next turn, kapow. Kapow. I'll take 4 more from the bailout. He does have, like, he did have all action spells in hand, but he could have not played a land and done that just to convince me that that was the case. A double block last turn on the territorial bailout was kind of in the books. On the cards, even. Because then I force him to play his cards. So he can 8 me here, and then I can block the tree. No, he can't 8 me. 10 me. Okay, I think that's worth blocking. I'll have to block that. Okay. Keep forgetting that part of the text. It's an interesting card. This is more interesting. It's my blue source. Blue. See you guys later. I'll draw. This card's so good. It's a bit expensive since the format, as I said, is a bit tempo heavy, like you saw there. Like, even with good blockers, there's a lot of good spells, I think. And there's a lot of good ways to push through damage and a lot of good evasion creatures, so I have a feeling that's what, if I was testing for the Pro Tour, that would be my assumptions right now, but I don't know if that is entirely true. Obviously going to be very interesting to find out. On to the finals, though, with what I think is a very good deck. Though this card, one of the more powerful uncommons, expensive. Though depending on what you think of the format, that's irrelevant or important. See you guys in the final. And here we are in round 3 with quite the good hand. Aggressor doesn't really fit in, but Zada Commando, and if he blanks me with like a larva, I can either run over it or I can Tangler and start pinging him. Seems pretty good. This is a keeper. I'm just adding to the goodies in my hand. Turn where I can do both these things when I have this out seems pretty good. Zada Commander makes pretty short work of a Castigator. And Commander with the Claws seems pretty good to me. Claws goes pretty well with Outnumber as well. Again, Claws triggers prowess, so I think I'm going to wait to do both in a turn. And we might even be able to Outnumber and Claws in a turn. Pretty sweet. This can gain flying. I think I'll let it do damage for a turn because the Claws is going to do so much. He has a removal spell, I guess this is. Gonna put a hindrance to my plan. If he just has a guy, I'm fine with that. Okay. I'm likely to kill that because it's a decent blocker. Then I take 6 on the crackback, but I'm going to do so much damage here. So these two can trade, and I find it likely that they will. Could have also killed this, so he doesn't have a good block on the big guys, and he's going to take 7 then. But I'd rather kill the card that's profitably blocking the 1/1s at the moment. That's fine. He takes 4. I got a free 1/1. Unfortunately, this doesn't have haste, but this and Brute Strength next turn seems good. Brute Strength and any Surge card that I could draw either is really good. See what he does. The Commando has also made an ally for himself to start pinging with, so my opponent just plays a good card here and doesn't... Demon's Grasp. It's okay. You get to make another 1/1. You can block the 1/1, take 2 damage. I'll probably let that happen and then play an aggressor. He definitely doesn't want to just block here. He's almost out of cards as well, is why I kind of want to do this. I want to get a slightly better creature than this. While it's a flying creature, it's not doing much on the board. And this is when this card is like worse than a bone. Almost worse than a bone saw. There's a slight upside to it, but now it's just going from creature to creature, not accomplishing that much. So it's likely he has a removal spell here. I really just hope it isn't Grip of Desolation to get me off blue. He'll throw this block. I'll try and Brute Strength it. Might grip and kill my blue source, and that would be pretty miserable. Otherwise, this is all pretty good. Could have a pump spell, but if he's just pumping to kill it, just gains flying, right? Yep. I'm still even doing 1 damage out of this. That is pretty good for me. And now I have a flying creature for the equipment. The tempo, I'm telling you, tempo is what this format's about, man. Blowing out blockers, getting good attacks through with spells. Another good removal spell, but this card is making removal spells look bad. As I said, Bone Saw in bad situations, but we drew really good cards here. My opponent hasn't drawn that well. Downside, Bone Saw. Upside, unbeatable. You know, these kind of decks have a hard time beating you spitting out tokens. Now, these decks usually have like 2 4s in them, so we do have to be careful for that. And like 1 4, it's pretty good against my deck because I have triple Sky Spawner. So we have to, if we have a sideboard answer to this guy, we're definitely just going to be playing it. So he needs to answer this guy, and 3 other creatures. If we get to attack, that time he's very good. That would have been pretty sweet as well. So that's our answer to that. I think we want Sure Strike if he's playing that 1/4. Doesn't seem fantastic, but again, might just be better than Reality Hemorrhage, though he did have some guys for Reality Hemorrhage in his deck. I think I'll even out. I think if I see more of that Vampire, I'll do that. So that Vampire is very good against my deck. On the draw, any land lets me cast this. Any blue land makes my hand pretty insane. I think this is pretty strong if I draw a couple lands. Well, I never don't have the blue land so far. I've been a bit lucky that way. Sky Spawner dominating games. So good opening by my opponent. Makes me consider playing this just to trade with his 3-1. We'll see what else he drops though. Yeah, I think I'll play this. It negates the attack of that card. And I'm not going to win the Sky Spawner race if he's just cracking in for 3, since the spawn can't block the Castigator. So I'm fine with the attack here, me blocking a Castigator and me playing my 4-3. I'll see what trick he has. I'll make him use a trick. Take 3 damage. Seems fine with me. Mighty Leap, sure. Play this guy. Shut down the attacks of the 2/2s. Take maybe 3 this turn. Unless he has a removal spell. Well, this is getting nasty. I take 7, go to 7. Play this guy. Hope that slows down text. I can play 2 guys here, and I should. So now Sky Spawner can jump in front of the 3-1 as well. See if he has another removal spell. If he has like a removal spell for this guy, I'll block here, I think, for a trade. So he has another trick. So if I take down at least one of his creatures, maybe it's another Mighty Leap. This is looking quite bad on the back foot, in fairness. Regenerates this. See if he's running out of gas. Really hate to use that removal spell on a 2-drop, but can't really afford for him to have another removal spell and swing for 4 and have me chump with the Scion. Ugh, okay. That probably just wins him the game. It's a good card to have left in your hand there. Gains 2, deals me 1. That's a weird game. It's a game where I think if I'm on the play, I'm in a lot better position. I don't really know what my out is, but let's have a look. Captain's Cause, certainly not it. We have a few cards. These 2 are the prime examples that really only play from the front. Maybe I should have just made the Sky Spawner try and trade. Don't really want this. He had a lot of removal. I definitely want Reality Hemorrhage. He had enough 2-drops there to make me want it. That was a good handy beat. But every deck that's been good I played, that's been close, has been like tempo-y kind of aggro decks, as I said. Shh, you heard the secret here first. Mulligan. Triple Sky Spawner, 2-drop. I think I keep this. The hand has too much upside. I need to hit 2 lands, but there's 1, so this is going to get going anyway. It's risky, but I think it's worth risking hitting runner lands more than it is mulliganing to 5. Because if I hit all the lands, this hand could be great. Two-drop. Never didn't have it. I don't think there was a time I didn't have it. You guys can check, but I don't think there was a time I didn't have it. If he plays the Vampire, we're in trouble. This hand was specifically kept on the back of Sky Spawners. If he plays the 1/4 Vampire, I can't imagine winning this game. Uh-oh. 3 mana? Yeah, there we go. That's a bad one. That one is going to be hard to recover from. Need to draw a removal spell now for him. Though it can just be the 1 damage one. What's it called? I can't remember, the 1 red one. So he gets to kill the 1/1 for free, and as we said, it's basically just a bone saw but more expensive here. Though he can never really attack with the Vampire, he can just gain 3 life a turn. So not only does it block everything, it gains life because of this, because of his 2-drop. Wow, that's insane. It's going to deal me 2 damage a turn and gain 3 life a turn. I wonder if I attacked with that, would he block? I think our only chance in this game is taking risks like this. I should probably attack with everything if I do that. Wow, snap blocks. Does not even consider me having outnumber there for what is just a win. If I outnumber this creature there, he loses. But, that showed me. I think you have to take risks like that in these kind of games that are pretty unwinnable positions. Opponent had 0 fear of outnumber. Again, I could pump them all here, but I don't think it achieves much. I guess if I had equipped last turn, I could have bushwhacked there. I'm not sure what I'm waiting for. Probably a salvo. I can salvo 1 turn, kill the 2/4, then the turn after trying to bushwhacker. Mostly I'm waiting to try and do this. This can start attacking. Two damage a turn, gain 3 life a turn. The problem with what's happening here is the big problem with what's happening here is that even if I do get the Rolling Waters, he's gonna have dealt me a lot of damage and be on so much life that 1 Alpha Strike doesn't matter, and he just rebuilds the board next turn. I realistically need to be killing some of these creatures. The question is, if I draw a blue source, do I sack 2 Eldrazi spawns just to play Waters? Doesn't look like I'm drawing the source though. Oh, let's do this, see what he does about it. He had a lot of tricks in his deck, so I doubt that this is going to happen. Well, I guess I'm being a bit pragmatic. One of our removal spells probably puts us in this game. Wow, and he doesn't seem to have anything. I should move that equipment, that was bad. Though it doesn't really change my blocks if he decides to attack with everything. 2 Eldrazi spawn are getting on top of this guy and hoping that the block is successful. Might even put all 3 in case he has Mighty Leap, and then Mighty Leap wipes out all 3 of them, so I don't think that's a great attack. Does he just have all lands? I have a chance if he's just on all lands. On a 5-turn clock with what he's doing, and he's gaining 3 life a turn, so I think he's perfectly happy doing this for a couple turns. Maybe outnumber into Bushwhacker. That's what we want. I'm not sure what I'd kill with the outnumber though. Probably the Cliffhaven, because then he's gaining life, but he isn't putting the game away. Okay, so he's finally going to act. Just another Envoy would be super annoying. Strike. It's also not great for me. Let's do this. Get an attack in for some. At this stage, Blue Source puts me ahead. So if I attack with everything, he blocks 2 of these. He takes 3, 8, 12, 14, 16. Puts him to 8, kills 2 of these. 17 even. I think I have to go for it. He killed me on the swing back, so he does me 2 damage down to 7. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, he doesn't kill me on the swing back. He puts me to 1. And it gives me an out over an island to win. That's all I got. If you have something to kill me, you've killed me. Because he gets to make these blocks without trading. If he has a Mighty Leap or anything, he just dies. Oh, sorry. Of course he makes that block. He's taking 9, 11. Yeah, it goes to 8 like we thought. Goes back up to 11. Between the 7. Can attack for 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 because of the trigger off the Envoy. And if he has nothing, he loses. And he hasn't played anything for turns, though. He hasn't had to play a Mighty Leap. If he has a leap, he just wins. He might be calculating, like, if he just attacks with the Envoy, it does me 2 damage. He gains life off the Cliffhaven, does me another damage, puts me to 5. Well, I actually have cards to attack with here. And I don't think I'm dead, because he hasn't gone for it. He's playing to my outs as much as possible. Even stuff like, as I said, even stuff like Outnumber here would be amazing. The Salvo would be amazing. The Take Control of a Guy would be unreal. Take Control of a Guy Support 2 might be game as well, though I haven't done the maths on that. What else do we have? I'll have a quick look. We have Island. Any island, right? No, we don't have enough now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we do. We do have enough. Any island. Let's just bounce both of these and draw 2 cards. Or would I bounce this and this and draw 2 cards? Because then he can't really gain life. Yeah, I'd probably do... No, I'd probably have to do these for the flying attackers. If he's drawn another ally, I might be dead here as well. No, it has to be another vampire to kill me. But if he's had that, I don't know why he's thinking for so long. Okay, bounce 2 guys for the win. Island. Zada's commander, so I'm dead. Attack with everything. He takes 6 in the air. He blocks 3, 3 into 2, 1. He takes 2 more on the ground. I die. If I don't try and kill him. That's a shame. He left himself really open to die to that island. No way to realistically gain life. He just has 3 damage next turn. I have to hope he fucks up and blocks with this. I'll keep this back. I can't even... I have to hope he fucks up and trades with both of them and keep this back to block. But I can't imagine. My opponent's played the games pretty competently. I can't imagine that happens. For a game that where I was super behind because he had the Envoy, like at any stage if I draw a removal spell, I just win because opponent floods out of it. This turn I win if he draws planes. For turns, any removal spell in my deck would have done. Even Hemorrhage would have let me just attack with everything and take one of them out on the attack. Or just kill this guy and he doesn't have the combo anymore and we're just staring at each other. Or maybe I didn't just win. Let's see what he has here. No, I'm just giving this flying. So you can trade with this. And hopefully trade this away and There was half a chance here. Was this an ally? We don't even have half a chance, even if he trades that away. Because we take a damage here. Well, if he traded that away, I guess. No, we still lose. Yeah, we had exactly lethal 2 life gain, I think, there if he had bounced. Maybe he ends on 1? I don't know. No, he doesn't end on 1 because I make this. Unfortunately, that's the best we could do, folks. 4 boosters, so we break even. It's not the worst. There's the island to win the game. Island, Devour Frames, Outnumber, Salvo would have won us the game. This guy would have been interesting, because he would have had to double block it. That would have won us the game. We actually had a lot more hits than I thought. Altogether, excellent draws or outs included. I just like doing this afterwards. Not being salty, just actually calculating my outs of how game would have played. So Ireland would have made this game winning. This would have been game winning in general because I could have destroyed one of his guys and then he's doing not much. Same with this, same with this. This is a guy that he has to double block to kill and would have just got through 4 damage every turn. Though that's not too impressive since he's gaining 3. We essentially did that with another creature already. Brute Strength would have been really good. Because I just get to attack and he loses this guy. This at the end would have won me the game, but at the start was not that relevant. Reality Hemorrhage would have let me kill this, so he wouldn't have been able to keep comboing, though his board position would have been fine. This would have let me win. I would have just got to attack with everything every turn. Well, I had 3 guys, so like I would have got to do it 3 times until I drew a Crucible Land. This wouldn't have been good enough. This wouldn't have been good enough. This wouldn't have been good enough. Just like the Sphinx. So that's it. I had like 4 outs for the game, but I had a lot of draws. Those outs changed throughout the game. Like this would have been really good early and not as good late. So that's it for our draft. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys hopefully on my channel tomorrow.